these athletes just finished 24.3. Let's go talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, athletes, welcome. We are at 23.4 with our athlete review. We've got Philip Gentry and we've got Victoria Campos. Neither are strangers to the CrossFit Mayhem community, and they threw down just a little while ago. Gave very impressive performances for this last week of the Open. So let's take a look. We will go ahead and get started. So we have got our footage going and all athletes have taken off. Now, if you guys have not seen this workout yet, it consists of thrusters that go up in our second section with weight. And then we also have our chest to bar pull-ups and bar muscle-ups. Philip had bent over rows and push-ups for the foundations. So with both athletes, Victoria, I'll start with you. What was your guess going into this week on what this workout was going to be, and how close were you to what came out?
I was very close. When Dave Castro released that tip of the dog eating a chicken leg or something,
yeah.
I was like, oh, we're going to be doing legs for days. It's time to squat. I thought it would be some squatting and hanging anyway, so that was pretty close, and there we go.
Cool.
Have it.
And like the chicken wing, I think also came up with like the chicken winging for the bar muscle up too.
That makes sense now. Yeah, it's smart. Yeah, pretty good.
So with yours, like you posted a very impressive time. What was your final time on this workout?
10:25.
Cool. So it's that is definitely smoking fast. And getting to watch you do this was an absolute pleasure because you stayed calm and collected the entire time. What was your strategy going into this workout, and how did that change once you got into it?
It was good. We watched it live, right? Roman was throwing down with some guys in Nashville, and I could see he was doing the same. He was just being very calm and just, not rushing that first 5 rounds, and I think that was perfect. So we tried to replicate that here, and we just planned to go every 45 seconds or so on that first 5 rounds, and then we plan on going every minute on the minute for the next 5 rounds. He went out the window a little bit, and then at the end it's just really, everyone just pushing you, just tell you go, and then you just gotta go and hold on.
Right. And I think too, it's commendations to you for when the plan, you kind of said had fallen apart with going on the minute every minute. You still kept yourself calm during that time, and you just readjusted rather than starting to worry about getting off of the pre-planned timing that you had.
Yeah, I try to stay pretty calm, and because in this situation there is no point of freaking out. It's just trust your fitness, and we've been doing this. We do this every week, so I was just trying to stay in myself and just finish the workout at the end.
Well, you did a very good job with that.
Thank you.
So we've got Victoria going, we got Patience going, who's doing our scaled version. She's down in the bottom corner in the blue tights, and then we've got Shane up in the top. He's got the black shorts on, and Shane came into this. Shane's a 2 o'clock athlete. He's very, very fit. He was our RX athlete for this week. He had to split before we could film the interviews, but his strategy was going in, and he knew that going against Victoria, it could definitely be a trap trying to keep up. So from the beginning, he was breaking up his thrusters and his pull-ups, which served him very, very well, because even though he finished couple minutes after Victoria did with section 1, he was still done at the 5-minute mark or something crazy fast there. And we'll talk a little bit about his section 2 coming up when he gets to that. So Philip, with our foundations, what did you think about the workout when you first saw it?
I thought it, mainly because the weight is very light on the foundations, and the other 2 movements that aren't thrusters weren't as complex as doing muscle ups or stuff like that. So I thought it would go by smoothly. That's kind of what I was trying to do during it too, just to not rush anything and breathing, because you do get yourself, even if you're doing the other versions, you get yourself very closed up a few times.
Absolutely.
Especially at the thrusters. You just got to remember to breathe, especially at the top of the thruster when you're completely open. Yeah.
Well, it's and just like Victoria, you did a great job keeping yourself calm and keeping a steady pace throughout. which was very impressive to watch. Victoria's done, so she is on her rest time. So she is she's getting ready for that heavier bar and the bar muscle ups. One thing, just like General Akbar said in Star Wars, it's a trap if you try to chase that time cap in this workout, because if you get too far ahead of your own abilities, then you're going to crash and burn, not only in the first section, but also that second section. So both athletes have talked about how they went in with a plan and they stayed dialed in with that plan so that you could hit a respectable tie break is what I meant. And then you can establish that, and then you can really try to push yourself when you get into that second section without being too pre-fatigued from that.
Definitely. Like it's all about the second 5 rounds. This workout, it's how you get there and how you finish it.
Right. And then so coming into the second barbell, how did that feel picking that up after your first 5 rounds?
It wasn't bad at all. The first couple rounds, I was like, I'm just gonna stick to plan, and it was going very smooth all the way until I hit the third round. It hit me real hard, and I was like, ooh, it's getting, my heart rate just went like spiking, and I couldn't feel my grip. And I was like,
really?
Okay, here we go. It's hitting, and then at that point, it's really just go. Just do your best. Just close your eyes and just keep going.
And so, did you find one piece particularly bad in that second section, either the barbell or the pull-up bar?
Yeah, I didn't want to pick up that barbell every round. I was like, I don't want to do it. And having guys, Jake and everyone is just counting down for me and making sure I try to stick as close to the plan as possible. That helped a lot.
And going in your head, and this will be a question for both of you, Philip, so when you get to a place, because I know there were some places where you took a little bit of extra rest, especially towards the end of the second 5 rounds, what's the best tip that you can give athletes at home in terms of when you feel like you've hit the wall that you've talked about? What do you tell yourself, or what's like a useful tip that you engage in that helps you keep going so that you can stay focused on what you're doing?
Oh, usually I'm just like, just do the next one. Just get to the next rep, the next movement. You just don't want to stop, especially in the middle. I was trying to do everything unbroken, because I know, like thrusters especially, breaking them up would have been terrible. I would have been so much more tired. Same with the push-ups. But yeah, you just want to stay steady with it and try not to break anything up.
Nice. And then Victoria, what about you?
In my head, actually, before I go for that 5 seconds before the workout, I think Luke just shout out to me, hey, you're a Mayhem athlete, let's go. And I just had that in my head on the last 3 rounds. It's like, this is what we do. We've been doing this, so I'm a Mayhem athlete, I got this.
We saw the little, we got up on the box, and then we leaned back, and then we got back up. So the consistency with your bar muscle ups is highly impressive. And it's with athletes that may be getting their first bar muscle ups during this, or those that have them but have difficulty stringing them together. What's a useful tip that you find helps you if, say, form's falling apart and you got to kind of regroup and get back on the bar?
Like especially when you start to get tired, your form starts to fall apart, like you said. So you gotta trust the technique. It's gonna get you there. So really big swing, throwing your hips as much as you can, and just being patient. You're gonna get over that bar. It's gonna happen. So just trust your training.
Love it.
We'll get there.
Well, and so we'll go back to Shane for a second. So Shane is back. He's on his heavier bar now. And with Shane, throughout the first sets, what he was looking at doing, I think he was doing a 6-4 split. So he would do 6 thrusters, drop, then do 4, and he did the same thing on his chest to bars. Shane, like I said, is that from a class perspective, he's a very, very, very solid RX athlete, potentially higher than that as well. With this workout, he was surprised how quickly he blew up on it. He is coming off of, he's had a little bit of upper respiratory gunk. I think that's been going around with the temperature change. But in the second section, so when he was on his 7s, he went 4 and 3. And then when he got to the bar muscle ups after the first round, he dropped down to singles. And I was standing there talking to him while he was going. And I said, Shane, if you feel like you can go singles here, just start moving. Because if you're worried that you're going to time cap at 15 minutes on this workout and you're taking very, very long rests, start chipping away at those reps, and you think about if you're stuck in your head that you have to go unbroken or 3 reps at a time on bar muscle ups, you're wasting time there, and you're potentially creating fatigue that's going to cause you to start failing later in the workout. So Victoria did a great job of staying calm and collected throughout this with her training. She's doing these unbroken sets here, and you could tell that she felt good. It was just a matter of kind of shaking the arms out, getting the breathing back. With Shane blowing up so quickly, going to that, he was going to try to do 4s and 3s all the way through in the second section, and we did the 1s throughout on the pull-up bar, and I leaned down to him. I'm like, you got this, let's go. He looked at me, he's like, I'm trying. I'm like, you were doing great. So don't get discouraged, especially if you're with athletes that are going a little faster than you. Do not get caught up in the trap and trying to keep up with them. Do your own workout. Don't try to compare yourself to other people in this. Like, just do what you can and give it your best. So we got Victoria almost finishing up. I think this is your last set.
Yeah, this is my last set. Yeah, I hold on to it. I don't know how.
There you go.
I really don't know. I couldn't feel my grip at all. I was just holding on because everyone was just yelling at me, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go.
You were making your last rep look like your first, which is very, very good. We got Philip. He finished around the 9:48 or 46 mark.
Something like that.
He beat Roman Krenikov's time. So I think that we found our next open matchup for 2025.
I don't know. I have to shave my head.
So we've got Patience. She just finished up as well. And so Patience is also a 2 o'clock class athlete, very fit. She's RX scaled. She's in between those two. She's done a great job. We did go over on her last set that she finished on her pull-ups. She was working through, she was starting to lose her kip a little bit. And something that we talk about with athletes, if you do not have a strong kip, we really want to think about your positions that you have on the bar. So if you are doing kipping pull-ups there, think about that when we pull ourselves with chin over the bar, we want to maintain that hollow position so we can push away and go back into our kip swing and keep that momentum continuous versus just dying and dropping. Now, if your arms are blown up, upper body's blown up, you can't move anymore, whether it's bar muscle ups, kipping pull-ups, do singles and just start chipping away so you can make your way back to that thruster bar. So Shane right now is that we're at 11:45, and again, he did a great job of, Shane is used to finishing at the top of the classes and moving really well, but when we got to this part in the workout, I know he was walking back from the bar and he was just looking at me. He's like, can you do these reps for me? It was like, he was pushing to his limits. On a couple of them, what we did was I think we did singles through 4, and then we tried to do some unbroken reps at the end. I know on his very last set when we got to 15, it was all singles all the way. He did everything he could, and he represented very, very well. So looking back on this workout for both of you guys, is there anything that you would have changed in terms of the approach or the performance that you did?
I don't think so. I think before we started workout, we broke it up and we had a good strategy, and I tried to stay with it as close as I could. And like you said, if it goes out of the window at some point, then you just keep chipping it away and just get as many as you can and trust that this is what we do. So you just keep going.
Yep. And then we'll have more motivational talks with Victoria coming soon, because I'm getting amped up. I'm doing this workout later, so
let's go.
I need all her tips and tricks from that.
Oh, he's licking it some more now.
Yeah,
he's getting it. It's at the end, right? And then you start to be like, okay, this is it. I'm done.
We got our 4 singles and then our 3, and then this is the last round. I think he got into the 3rd round of 5 or the 4th round of 5, and so he's fighting for everything he has.
Yeah, I think that's the 4th round.
And
that's a pretty good score. Like, honestly, that barbell goes up. Like, for the guys, is like it gets heavy, you know, like at that level. And he's doing it really, really well.
He's doing a great job.
He's holding on.
And he's still doing his 4 and 3 when he gets here for the 7s.
Smart. Like, you don't want to blow up on the thrusters. There's really no point.
And something that's important that we always talk about when we're doing an overhead movement, whether it's shoulder to overhead thrusters, if you guys take a little bit of an extra second to pause in the lockout overhead and breathe in, your lungs are less compressed there. It helps you brace your core. It's going to help you hang on to that bar. And we saw Philip doing that with his thrusters when he moved on to that 45-pound bar. And so, Philip, with your attempt, was there anything that, looking back on it, you would have changed, you would have done differently, or were you 100% with how you did it?
Just mainly, especially during the thrusters, it's so easy to like get out of a good breathing pattern. You want to start almost hyperventilating sometimes, and it's just kind of watching yourself and maybe slowing down or taking a little bit extra, another second or two at the top to get a good breath in.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's something to say on a workout like this. All of the workouts up to this point have had a doable finish time for a lot of athletes. I know that last week we were time capping some on there, which is completely fine. That's no commentary on where your fitness level is. I know everybody's doing their best with it. This workout, I think that we're going to see a lot of people that will time cap for this, and that is okay. Like Victoria said, getting as many reps as you can, because every bar muscle up that you get is one that is going to get you closer and closer to that finish. We had Shane just finish up, and he finished with like 1 second on the clock and locked that out. So all of our athletes today, very, very impressive. Now, I am going to ask you guys, I'm going to have you give me your best motivational piece for athletes that are nervous or scared about this workout. And before we do that, we just want to give you the final words of advice on this, is that for this workout, go into it with a game plan like Victoria did, like Philip did. If you fall off of that game plan, do not panic. You are going to be just fine. Figure out what you can do with the capacity that you have left there. If you can find some sneaky ways to get a little bit of recovery in by maybe doing some singles on the pull-up bar so you can try to get your heart rate back under control, then apply yourself when you feel like you're back in the driver's seat. Make sure you're not outpacing yourself with your breathing, because on our thrusters, we should be breathing with each rep, and we should be trying to make sure we're breathing on that pull-up bar and not holding our breath. So, motivational pieces now. We'll go Victoria, then Philip. So, Victoria, what is your best piece of advice for somebody who is about to do this workout and they're slightly freaking out?
Yeah, don't freak out. That's the main. Breathe through every thruster. There is really no rush, especially the first 5 rounds. Just stay calm, set up a plan, a strategy, and follow it. It will get uncomfortable like every workout does, but just, trust yourself, trust whatever strategy you came up with, and keep pushing it, keep chipping it away. At the end of, it's the open, everybody's doing it. It's not just you're not in it alone, so just enjoy that feeling and keep crushing it.
I love it. This is like what we've worked for the whole year. The open season is here. This is your last week, so have fun. Don't stress yourself out over this. Love that. Philip, what is your motivational piece for anybody who is like panicking, like they're about to go, but they're like, maybe tomorrow?
Same thing. It's just, especially at doing like foundations or scaled, is that you're not competing against everybody else, especially the elite and the RX athletes. I go in there and I'm like, this is going to be a workout. I want to have fun, and I want to see how far I can push myself, because I know I'm not going to be RX or higher, and just kind of have fun with it. You just want to see what you can do, not so much how much better you are compared to somebody else, especially at the foundations and scale kind of level. You just want to get in there and like, hey, I just did this workout and I didn't die. So it's, you just
I love it.
Yeah.
And that is great. That wraps it up with the point of your fitness journey is unique to you. Everybody's got a different starting point. Everybody's at a different place in that. So when you're getting into this, enjoy the process. You've got 2 athletes that just crushed this workout, and they are telling you the same thing. So don't get discouraged if your time is a little bit slower than somebody else's, or if you got less reps than somebody else. Think about what your body is able to do for you, and look at the progress that you've made between last year's open and this year's open. If you had to take some time off and you're a little less fit than last year, that is okay. Be thankful for what you're able to do this year. Take the learning lessons from this. And I don't mean to put Philip on the spot, but he already told me that our goal for next year is doing scaled, a step up from foundations. So we are very excited to continue that journey and see where we can get. And then for Victoria, we're going to get her like elite plus and just keep bumping up her skill level as well. So on behalf of all of our athletes here, the entire Mayhem athlete community, we wish you guys the best of luck. the most fun with this workout, and we can't wait to see what you guys accomplish. Throw comments, throw scores, throw anything down in the comments so that we can give you guys some answers on things. And thank you so much again. Have fun with 24.3, and then we'll catch you again next year for 2025 Open.
Go crush it.
Yeah. Let's go.
Thank you guys.